welcome back to the Hallmarkies podcast. Today we are covering 2 Up movies from back in June. We're kind of catching up a little bit here. So I am Amy, and I'm here today with my lovely co-host Jess.
Hey guys.
And the 2 movies we're covering from Up were from the June Grooms segment on Up back in June of 2020. And those 2 movies are How Not to Propose and Sisters of the Groom. So, all right, let's just jump right into it then, okay?
All
right, so the first movie we have to talk about is How Not to Propose, which starred Ryan Meerman, who you guys might know from, like, Disney Channel back in the day, Smart House, Look the Irish, and then Kayla Ewell, I hope I'm saying that name right, and I only recognize her because she is currently in Roswell, this show currently. And they played the characters Travis and Lena, who are, they've been dating for a while. Travis wants to propose. Lena's got this big opportunity at work, and they go on a camping trip, and just everything seems to go wrong.
Everything that can go wrong does go wrong.
Goes wrong. I was like, maybe it's a sign, guys. Maybe you shouldn't be.
Yeah. The universe is telling you.
Yeah, exactly. So what did you think of this movie, Jess?
I thought this movie was okay. I wasn't quite sold on the main couple. They kind of annoyed me a little bit, but I really loved Michelle and Cedric. They were fun. They really made this movie for me, even though they weren't, obviously the focus, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Michelle and Cedric. I wanted to see more of them. I thought that was so cute. And, like, a lot of times the second storyline of, like, the sibling or whatever can get kind of, like,
get lost.
Get lost, or it's not interesting, and you're like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
But this was a really, really cute second storyline that I really enjoyed. So
yeah, it really worked.
Yeah, it really did. Travis's brother Cedric was freaking out at home the whole time they were camping because they had no Wi-Fi at home. I guess I don't know, I've never rented at a place, but I guess their landlord was switching internet providers, and they didn't have internet for like a week, and so Travis's brother Cedric was freaking out. So Lena she was an intern, and I believe the nurse at her office, right, is Michelle.
I believe so. That was my understanding.
Yeah, so Michelle was at home, and so Lena asked Michelle to go check on Cedric. and then
Cedric.
And then they ended up, like, spending the entire day together and, like, falling in love.
Yeah, because that's how it happens, and it was great.
It was amazing. Like, they were my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
And they weren't.
As a fun fact for any of our Hallmark Postables listeners, Cedric is played by Adam Corson, who is in A Hope and a Future in one of the SSD episodes. So
nice.
A familiar face.
There you go. And yeah, but they were the cutest. They, like, he had like a drink named after him.
Yeah.
At the coffee shop, and they were, like, talking about nerdy stuff, like video games, and
yeah, because he was, like, developing characters for a game or something.
Yeah, that she loved, and it was just perfect.
Match made in heaven. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Where is their sequel? Anyways.
Yes, we need a sequel for them.
All right, but let's talk about the main couple.
Yes.
So in the first, like, 5 seconds in the movie, these 2 people, he's kind of on his phone, not paying attention, and they run into each other, and then we kind of get a little bit of a montage of, like, their kind of romance or dating or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just so many things that go wrong.
Where do we even start?
Like, where do we start? Okay, so
we should start with the fact that he gets laid off from his job. So he's kind of, like, feeling a little down about that and thrown off by that.
Yeah, so he planned to propose. He planned to propose, and he gets laid off from his job the same day he buys the ring, which is so sad.
I know. And
because he's in sales, but he wants to be a writer.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't sell enough copiers. I just found that so... It's like, all right, copiers. We're invested. At first, I was like, am I going to have to spend this entire movie being invested in copier sales?
We're going to segue into an episode of The Office.
Yeah, exactly. So he asks... Travis, I thought it was really cute. He asks Lena's dad if it's okay to marry her. And Travis's or Travis's dad, no, Lena's dad is like, yeah, you don't have to ask us. It's fine. And, there's a whole second storyline about the parents too.
Yeah, that one we could have done without. That one was like kind of just thrown in there, it seemed. And I feel like that's a pattern with UpTV is they always tend to do like multiple storylines, and it always feels like they're scrambling to make them all work and have substance.
Yeah, so. Exactly. And with this one, with the parents specifically, it kind of like was such large gaps in between seeing them that I had forgotten about their storyline in between, because there was just so much in between it all. But originally Travis was supposed to take Lena to this like fancy spa vacation weekend, but he got laid off, so instead they're going camping at this place that he used to go with Cedric when they were growing up.
And actually it's glamping, which I only knew about from watching Hallmark Channel this summer or spring, whenever they had that one about glamping, and I was like, I have never heard of glamping before this year.
One? That was another Cindy Busby one, wasn't it?
No, that was Amelia Ullerup.
Oh, okay.
And Chris Russell?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I actually like that one.
Now that one was like way like definitely like a majestic tent. That was not what I saw in this movie. It's very different.
So from what I understand, glamping is normally like you're in an RV or like some sort of like over the top tent, like was in that Hallmark movie. This was kind of just like they were staying at a campsite and they just did things in the town nearby.
It had like amenities. It had a hot tub and this massage place nearby. Like it wasn't not quite what I was expecting.
But they were still sleeping in the woods. So
yes, they're still sleeping in the woods.
And this trip starts out with a flat tire.
Oh, I forgot about the flat tire. That's right.
Like they weren't even there yet, and
it already started
having problems. So we had the flat tire, and then after that, he forgot the propane.
Got the propane.
Forgot the propane. So they had. I need to know what you think about this granola bar burrito.
It does not sound like something I would want to eat. I would just eat the granola bar. Maybe the peanut butter sounds great. I don't know about the whole wrapping it in a tortilla. That's a little weird to me.
I was like, what?
I don't know. If someone tried this out there, tell us. Like, is it really all of the rave? Like what we're hearing about this granola burrito? I don't know.
I was like, geez, you had granola bars. Just eat the granola bars.
Right. It's like, why are we putting it in a burrito?
And I want to know who came up, like what writer was like, yes, granola bar burrito.
This sounds like they came from personal experience, maybe.
Exactly. I want to know who came up with that. It was just hilarious. Okay, so then after the granola bar burrito, the next day, he wanted to take her on a hike so that he could propose at this beautiful overlook. And she's like, no, I want to go into town. I'm hungry. Like, we need propane. Like, I need cell service. And so they go into town. They have breakfast. And then one of probably my other favorite parts of this movie, who I wish was in this movie now more, was the nice old couple.
They could have had more time if we got rid of the parent storyline.
Yeah. I was like, nice old couple. They were sweet. And also, Lena and Travis probably should have hung out with them more.
Yeah.
Instead of kept blowing them off and not taking their advice. And it's like, guys, come on, really? But yeah, nice old couple. It was Alan Patty, right? I think? Or was it Betty? Alan Patty? Alan Betty.
I want to say Patty, but I'm not positive.
Okay. And they were just this nice, sweet old couple that were eating at this breakfast place. And, you know, they were having banana foster and enjoying themselves. And, you know, and then Lena got an egg white omelet. And I was like,
I know, she was being super extra. Like, what kind of cooking oil, or what kind of oil do you use? And the waitress was like, the cooking kind. Like, this is it's like a food truck is almost what it is. It's not really a restaurant. It's like, yeah, that's not the kind of things that are on the menu. It's going to be these really fancy kind of things.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So what happened after that? Then
they ran into Oren.
Yeah, on the way back, ran into ex-boyfriend who I apparently was in the brother fraternity to her sorority in college. And then they go on this trail ride with Oren.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Because why not?
Why not? Let's go on a trail ride. And so pretty much Travis was in the back the entire time on this horse, uncomfortable. And then he falls off the horse.
I know. We don't even get to really see him fall off the horse. It's like all of a sudden he's like there on the ground, and I was like, wait, what just happened?
Like, what happened? Did he get bucked off? Did he just like fall?
Because he was a significant distance in front of the horse. So I'm like, did he get like completely like catapulted off?
And like, what did he do to get himself catapulted off?
I don't know. I mean, I'm an equestrian. I don't think I've ever got thrown that far off a horse before, especially on a trail ride. That's some talent. That's some talent to get thrown that far.
Yeah, and of course, the ring falls out of his pocket. She almost sees it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And then, what happened that evening? Oh, he make dinner that evening, and then she ended up getting, like, food poisoning or something?
I think it was, yeah, pretty close then, at least, yeah.
Yeah, and she ends up getting sick. So that stops him from proposing again. Mm-hmm. And then they go to the spa. And his coupon doesn't work, which was weird.
Yeah.
I was like, you bought a coupon.
It was like a coupon for 2, but it could only be applied for 1. Like, the discount could only be applied to 1 person, even though it was a coupon for a massage for 2. Like, fine print, people. Read the fine print.
That's weird.
What's the moral of the story?
Exactly. And then he leaves the ring in his
locker.
And I'm like, if you're planning on proposing, shouldn't you, like, that be, like, one of the first things you always think of? Like, oh, where is it? Where is it?
It's like, yeah, wallet, keys, ring, you know.
Yeah.
It's part of the list.
Not to mention the entire movie, you could totally see that there was a ring box in his pocket. Like, unless she just wasn't looking, I don't know how she wouldn't have seen it. Like, yeah, he wasn't hiding it very well.
I know, and I was kind of like, I mean, I know it's like part of the storyline, but I'm like, I feel like she should have like realized that he was trying to propose a few of these times, like when he would kind of start and then stop, and I'm like, are you like that dense, or like, I feel like you should be getting the hint a little bit, but I guess she was really distracted by her own big job thing that she was contemplating, so I'll give that to her. She was distracted.
Her big job news, her possibility to do her residency in Germany. Mm-hmm. Research residency in Germany, and so she wasn't telling him. I still don't know why she waited so long to tell him. Like, if you're really like invested in dating someone and you get a big opportunity like that, wouldn't that be like one of the first people?
I would think so. I mean, I know she was like nervous because it would be like out of the country, but she hadn't even made a decision yet. You'd think a sounding board, like he would be a sounding board to bounce some ideas off of.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether she wanted to go, but.
Yeah, it was very strange that she didn't tell him, and then she was stressed out about it all weekend, and all these weird negative things kept happening back and forth. I think that's all, right? Is that everything?
Just at the very very last scene with the fire ants. That's the only other thing.
Oh yeah, they also had fire ants at their picnic. But also second little kind of thing was that Travis is a writer. He was trying to get a book published, and as they were leaving, because she had been like, well, I guess I'm just going or whatever, and they both seemed very unhappy.
Yeah.
And so he gets a call from his brother, and it's like, you're being published or whatever, and then all of a sudden he's proposing.
Yes.
And she's not going now.
Correct. Yes. But she had already declined when he told her, or when he asked her to stay. So she already declined. So she was planning on staying.
Yeah. But then he's proposing, and she says yes. And there we go.
Cut to the wedding.
Cut to the wedding. I know. I was like, that was at first I wasn't sure if it was their wedding. I was like, they're gonna trick us and make this Cedric and Michelle's wedding.
Yeah. And Cedric was like super flashy. He had like that crazy like little vest thing on.
It looked like it was like not patent leather, but like suede or something. Like,
yeah,
it looked, yeah,
it was shiny. It was shiny and reflective.
Shiny. Yeah, it was very, very, very funny. So then they get married and live happily ever after.
The end.
So I don't know, what do you think of this couple? Do you think they should have gone?
I still have my doubts about this couple.
Me too.
But you know what? I'm sure they'll make it work.
Hopefully
there's no more fire ants in their future, though.
Yeah. Or flat tires, or granola burritos, or
being catapulted off a horse.
Yeah. Or ex-boyfriends, or What else could go wrong, guys? It's pretty.
We'll find out in the sequel about the marriage.
So I think this movie came out in 2017. So this originally, and then it premiered on Up in June.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what is your ultimate, like, what is your rating for this movie? What do you think?
I gave it 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10?
Right in the middle. It was okay. It was just, I felt like I needed a little more from the main couple, but it made up for it by the Cedric and Michelle storyline. Totally made up for it.
Yeah, so I'm going to agree and also go with 5 out of 10, strictly because of the Cedric Michelle storyline. Like, that was my favorite part. Yeah, it was a good movie. And I do have to say, like, their acting was good for what they were given.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they did a really good job. It was weird. It was kind of a weird story.
It was just like the mishaps just like made it like seem like they didn't have chemistry, I think was part of the problem. Like they didn't have any like of those feel good moments, and so it just kind of was a disconnect, I guess.
Yeah, it was definitely everything that was good was overshadowed by all the other mishaps. So all right.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. They're the good folks over at ModCloth. And at ModCloth, we make getting dressed fun. Back to being independently owned. We're all about perfect fits for every body. Unique, mood-boosting prints, vintage-inspired, versatile styles that make you look good. But more importantly, feel good. Find your joy at ModCloth. And one of the things that impresses me the most about ModCloth is the number of sizes that they have, going all the way up to 4X on some items. And then extra small. And so they really have something for everybody, every size, which is really nice. And also I really like the prints that they have. There, as I said, they're very vintage inspired. They're unique. They even have some things right now for Halloween, the Happy Hallow Queens sweaters and jewelry and other things. And they have outerwear. We're going to be looking to get for fall, going to be getting a coat. Then you can find something really nice at ModCloth. So it's a great place to go to support and to find a unique style so you don't look like everybody else. To get 20% off your purchase of $75 or more, including sale items, go to modcloth.com. That's modcloth.com and enter code Hallmarkies at checkout. The promo code cannot be combined with other offers. It's a great deal. So go to modcloth.com, enter code Hallmarkies for 20% off your order of $75 or more.
So now let's switch over to Sisters of the Groom. And if we've talked about there being too many storylines before, I think this one takes the cake. Like,
yes, I dinged it for that because there's a lot going on here.
Like, we talked about Love and Harmony Valley last week, and we thought that had a lot of storylines.
Yeah, this one has at least as many. I didn't stop to count, but
if not more. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it's just a lot.
It's a lot happening here, but yeah. So
the main characters are Sarah, who is played by Melise, is just how she's credited, is just one name, so she's like that cool. Like,
she's like Cher, you know.
Yeah, you've got to be just like an ultimately cool person to just have one name. And she most recently, I believe, was in The Flash. She played a bad guy in The Flash. So yeah. And then we have Jason, played by Jeremy Sumpter, who was in the live action Peter Pan in 2003. He played Peter Pan as when he was younger. So this storyline, basically, there's so many storylines. So please just correct me if I mess the summary up, please. But basically, Sarah is working on her thesis, and she's doing that by traveling around the world. But she's currently back in her hometown around her sister Molly, and she is house sitting the downstairs of like an apartment building or townhouse complex or something. Mm-hmm. And Jason lives above her, and they meet.
No, wait, I think she's above him because she was making a bunch of noise.
Oh yeah,
like tapping with her feet and stuff.
Yeah, so she was making noise, and he came and knocked on her door and was like, "Do you know what time it is?" And that
she's on Bulgaria time, so she did not know what time it was.
No, she did not. And that is how they originally meet. And then there is a wedding in this movie. There is meddling sisters. Mm-hmm. From both parties. There's sisters problems.
Yes.
on both of the sides. There's problem with the business, job questioning, and an entire week of wedding activities.
Yes, there's a wedding week, not a weekend, a week.
Week.
That's intense.
And also this has the, classic pretend to be my girlfriend storyline.
Which I gotta say, it's the most ridiculous storyline, but it's my favorite. It is my favorite trope. It would never work in real life, but I love it. So that was a bonus point immediately for me. I'm like, yes, my favorite storyline.
I love the pretend to be my boyfriend and or girlfriend storylines. I love it. I think it's so funny and so, I just love it. I love it. I don't know how, again, like you said, don't think it would work in real life.
It's a bad idea in real life. Don't do it.
But don't do it. I don't even know, where do you get a fake boyfriend? Do you hire them online?
Are they always this attractive? I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know how that would work. But okay, let's try to go by characters maybe, because there's a lot to unpack here. So Jason is one of 4 children in his family. So he has his dad, William, who is the owner of the business. They run corporate spas, I think.
I think so. Resorts and spas. Yeah.
Resorts and spas. And so he has 2 sisters, Lisa and Amanda, and then his brother Tim. His brother Tim is the one who's getting married. Now, the one thing I have to say about the sisters and Nicole, who Tim is marrying, is all 3 of them looked so similar that I had trouble telling them apart.
Yeah, they did do really good casting for those sisters, as well as for Sarah and her sister Molly. They looked very similar too.
Yeah,
I thought.
Yeah. Now, I wish Nicole, maybe there had been something a little bit different about her, because she wasn't technically related to them.
That's right.
But she looked so much like the sisters, so I kept kind of getting them confused a little bit. So Lisa is, I believe she's the oldest sister, and she's married to Robert, and they have 2 kids, Kate and Sam. And then the other sister, Amanda, is married to Henry, and they had a whole adoption storyline, which I forgot about because it was so spread out. And then there's this other lady named Cassie who also looked like them.
She did too, but she had no relation to them.
Exactly. And she apparently was in the sorority with Lisa and Amanda, and Lisa and Amanda were trying to be, set up their brother, their last single brother, with Cassie, and I guess Cassie and Jason had dated previously, so there was history there and everything. And any more storylines we got here? Oh, and then we have Sarah's sister, Molly, who is the caterer, and who's trying to get a job catering at one of the resorts and spas that Jason's dad owns. And so that's how Sarah comes into contact with Jason again, by giving the proposal, because something happens with Molly's van, and then she has to be picked up by her ex-boyfriend.
Yep, and that's a whole storyline, so.
Yeah. So we got Molly and the ex-boyfriend then. And then it's just, yeah. Okay, what and how, Jess? Just what and how?
What and how?
This movie. I think I got a summary-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you did a pretty good job of recapping that. So yeah, I really actually liked this movie. I did ding it for the too many storylines. I think we could have done without Molly and Ben. I didn't really care about them, their relationship. I was like, whatever. But other than that, I really liked it. I thought the leads had really good chemistry, and they really worked for me. And it was fun. It was fun. Wedding week. Who knew?
Week, yes. Which encompassed many dinners, a scavenger hunt, fishing, rehearsal dinner, and the actual wedding.
Yes.
It was a lot. 7 days of wedding activities. It's a lot. Wow. That's a lot of time to spend with your family all in 1 week.
Yes.
Just a lot.
At least the groom and the bride are pretty low key though. There's no bridezilla stuff going on or anything like that. Everyone was pretty chill. A very chill wedding week.
That was very nice. Yes, there was more drama about everything else more than the actual 2 getting married.
I almost forgot. I kept forgetting who was getting married. It was it was almost more in the background. Wait, which one's the one getting married again?
The brother, I think. And then also sisters of the bride. I was expecting him to have 5 sisters or something.
Yeah.
Not just the two. Yeah, so again, Molly, Sarah's sister, that storyline with Molly and Ben, the catering, that was just kind of like so far removed that it seemed odd. I mean, they ended up saving the day in the end, which
Right.
was good, but still, it was just kind of way out there, and the whole thing, I wasn't invested about the truck or him not paying enough attention to her, I think was one of the problems. It wasn't invested. The Amanda Henry adoption storyline, I feel like was so spread out, I couldn't get invested in it because it was like a little bit in the beginning, a little bit in the middle, and then they have a baby at the end. So it was just very, very spread out, and I couldn't get invested in it as much. Didn't like Cassie.
No.
Didn't like her. Oh, and
she was like very scheming. It was like, come on, lady, he's not interested. Like, go away.
So I feel so bad because Sarah had brought that plate of food, and Cassie just was being a jerk. I don't know what she was doing, and she just ruined her food.
Yeah, she like knocked it. It was intentional, right? She knocked it on the ground or whatever. It's like,
I was like, why?
Not cool, Cassie.
That's so rude. Also, wouldn't Cassie feel awkward being there?
You would think. She seemed very confident that she could win Jason back, but
exactly. I'm like, that's if I was in that situation after I saw he had a girlfriend, I'd be like, okay, I don't need to go to any more of these activities unless I was in the wedding, maybe.
Right.
Like,
or she's just that close to the bride or the sisters or whatever.
It was just very, very strange. Yeah. Oh, but the wedding week, I do think this was cute. It was to honor their mom who had passed. I guess their mom was into the whole wedding week thing, and that was very cute. I think that was cute.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. So in the end, he kind of blows her off from the deal they have for her to pretend to be the girlfriend. And then suddenly the caterer for the wedding has a flood at 4 in the morning.
Fell through at the very last second.
Very last minute. And so Molly and Sarah end up catering with the help of Ben, end up catering the wedding and putting everything together in mere hours, because like 4 a.m. and the wedding was in the evening. So they had like 12 hours to cook for a wedding and do everything. They did it very, very quickly.
Very efficient.
Yeah. And I forgot about the job thing too, about his profession.
Oh yeah, because he wanted to do like landscape architecture or something.
So Jason and Tim, the two brothers, worked for their dad at this corporate spas and retreats business, and Jason got this opportunity, this job offer to do landscape architecture, which is what he really wanted to do for a passion. And so the whole movie, he's also like, kind of, should I tell my dad? Should I not tell my dad? Should I quit? Should I not quit? And then there's a merger going on later on that's with Cassie's family. So he's unsure if he should even tell his dad or even quit or anything like that. So in the end, he ends up quitting, working, taking the job to be the landscape architect as well. There's a lot more. Yeah.
As we said, there's a lot going on here. So
I do have to say, Dad was cool. What did you think of
Dad was very chillax. Like, can he be like my future father-in-law? Like, he's pretty chill about everything, and he didn't freak out about the whole, job thing really in the end or anything. Like, there wasn't a huge blow up or anything like that. I think he was like maybe a little. I think he was like blindsided by it, but other than that, it's pretty chill.
He was pretty go with the flow, which was nice. He had good conversation. He had good dad conversations with his kids in this movie. It was like very nice.
Yeah, especially with the adoption storyline too. He was very kind of pivotal in kind of helping his daughter.
And talking to Amanda about that. Yeah. So that was very nice. It was nice to have a nice dad-father figure. But I think Sarah and Jason were adorable. They had really great chemistry, those two characters, and I almost wish that we would have seen more of them, like more cute moments, more funny things, because there was just so much of everybody else that it kind of some of it got lost, which was upsetting a bit.
Yeah, Yeah, they were adorable. And well, we didn't even mention that Jason has this random obsession with plants. That was hilarious. And he just had like a whole like garden oasis on his balcony. I was like, whoa.
And then he gets angry when he realizes she's house sitting and all the plants are dying.
A plant killer.
And his niece and nephew are there to spy on them.
Yeah, they gotta get intel.
Yeah. And so they assist her in trying to revive the plants.
Save the plants.
It was so cute. Oh, another cute moment was his nephew didn't want Sarah to be by herself, so he let her sleep with his stuffed animal. It was so cute.
I know, that was so adorable.
I'm like, when the kids like her, I'm like, come on.
It's always a good sign.
Good sign. Like, Jason, can you not see your niece and nephew like her? They don't like Cassie all that much.
Yeah.
Kind of ignore her.
Yeah, it's like she's not even there because she didn't really need to be there.
Yeah, but it was a really, really cute movie. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think we've covered the highlights.
The highlights. Did you have a favorite couple? Okay, besides the main couple, did you have a favorite couple or storyline that was going on here?
Ooh, I got to filter through all of them. Okay.
Let's see.
I think the one that jumps out to me is like the adoption one.
Mm-hmm.
I did like you said, it needed more development. It was stretched out, but I did like them. Like, I think they worked well as like a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that couple was probably my second favorite.
From what we saw of all these different couples, I feel like all the couples did have some sort of good chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they kind of worked well together. Even though we didn't see that much of them, I mean, we hardly saw the people getting married.
Yeah.
But when we did see them, they did seem to work together. That was nice. Yeah, the only couple I was kind of thrown off by was Molly and Ben. That was
that could have been
missed out. Or yeah, it just could have not been there. She could have just
been there, and we could focus on the other storylines.
She could have just had a sister that was a caterer, and that was
right.
That could have
who needed a job, who needed something to cater.
Exactly. That could have been enough, but no, wasn't apparently. So all the storylines, guys, all the storylines. So what would you rate this movie? What do you think it should get?
I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. I liked it. It's just too much going on.
Too much going on, yeah. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. So I did really enjoy it, and I do think I would like to see these two actors, the main two actors, in more. Like, more.
Yeah, they were both really good.
Lifetime. Yeah, they were really good, and I think I would like to see them do more like this. So Jeremy Sumpter and Melise, do more movies. There we go. All right. Okay. So out of all the movies we've covered so far from Up, we've covered like 5 or 6 so far. Do you think these are more on the higher, towards your more favorite end? What are you thinking? Where do you think these are gonna place as far as the year goes?
I haven't watched all of the ones from this year, but because I'm still a little new in the game here. But I think they're like somewhere in the middle. I think there were some that I liked more, and some that were like, with the How Not to Propose, that was a little more average for me. Mm-hmm. So I'd say they're like kind of in the middle.
In the middle, yeah, that's what I'd go with as well. They're not, they're not the best of the year. They're not there's some that we've given really bad reviews to. So
yeah.
They're pretty average. They're good. They had good casts. They were cute. Yeah. So, all right. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this, please rate or review us on iTunes or give us a thumbs up on YouTube, comment, all those fun things. Jess, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Jess BSW blog on Instagram and on Twitter.
Yes, and you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, all the social medias at It's Amy Craig. And then, of course, you can find the podcast anywhere that you can type Hallmarkies podcast into. You can find us. Make sure to support us on Patreon. We really, really appreciate the support. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much. We have our merch out. We have our spin-off podcasts. We got Deliver Me a podcast going on. We have our new spin-off that's coming up soon. I'm not sure when it's starting, but coming up soon. We have Hardy's Hotline going on. We just have so much content coming at you guys. We hope you enjoy it. And I mean, Christmas is just around the corner. Are
Buckle up and get ready.
Yeah. Are you preparing, Jess? Are you getting ready?
I'm trying to prepare. It's like they start so early. It's crazy, and I'm very surprised. I'd say that Hallmark is doing at least as many as they did last year. I thought for sure with all that's going on there would be less, and there's just as many, which I'm not. I mean, it's awesome to have a ton of movies, but at the same time, then you get a little like deadened by the end. You're like, I feel like I've seen the same movie over and over.
Yeah, and we'll do like we'll do once they release some of the Up announcement. Last year Up had 10, so we'll see this year what they do for Christmas, what they're able to do.
When do they start? I'm assuming they don't start as early.
They started in November last year, I believe,
Okay.
but it wasn't that long after Hallmark. They started, but they only had one a week, so it was a lot more manageable.
Yeah, instead of 4.
Then 4 every week like Hallmark. We don't know about, I don't think Lifetime's given a definite number yet for this year, so we're kind of in a waiting game, but we hope you guys are all along for the ride. We have very few weeks until Christmas starts. Just over a month, I think, until Christmas starts. So we hope you're ready to buckle through that with us, and if you subscribe or follow us on iTunes or any other podcasting app, we will be there with you to support you through the 2020 Christmas craziness.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you guys all in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.